earlier you start, the better. The earlier you start planning towards your retirement, the better. It's never too late. It's better to start taking action now to start your retirement. Just let's hold on a little. I want more people to join us, then I'll go into what we have for today. But while we're waiting, you can drop a comment in the comment section. Let's know where you're watching from. Are you watching Nigeria? You're watching from diaspora? Just type something, let me know where you're watching us from tonight. Let's know where you're watching from. Let's know. Type your country, state, where you're watching us from. Just type it and let's know. Okay, so I think I just need to guess to start. All right, one person is watching. Okay, so we said that reaching critical financial phase, everything you need money. It's a critical stage of your life, especially for Nigeria or living in diaspora. This state demands intentional planning. You need to plan intentionally. Retirement is not something that you allow to just happen to you when it happens. No, you need to plan strategically, towards your retirement. Especially given the economic realities like inflation. We cannot deny the fact that there's a lot of inflation in Nigeria. There is inflation globally, but then the one in Nigeria is quite high. Like I always say jokingly in Nigeria that when the price of a commodity goes up, there's a high chance it will never go down again. So we're experiencing a lot of inflation, currency fluctuation, and even as you grow older, you discover that you still have a lot of family responsibilities and family commitment. So the first thing you need to note as you plan towards retirement is that retirement is closer than you think. So look into your life as of today. What age are you? Are you 40? Are you 45? Are you 48? Are you 50? Regardless of your age, every single day draws you closer to your retirement. Now, while you were much younger in your 20s, in your 30s, there's nothing to worry about retirement. At least you knew you had a long way to go. But once you're approaching 50, then it's closer than you think. You have just maybe some 10, 15 years or 5 or 3 or 1 year left. It's much more closer than you think. And the truth is that if you don't have a plan, you risk entering retirement unprepared and financially vulnerable. All right, we have more people joining us tonight. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the reason why you need to have investment plan in place as you approach retirement. You need to have a retirement plan in place as you're approaching retirement, regardless of your age, whether you're 30, whether you're 40. They were looking more at people who are 50. If you're just joining us, I want to welcome you. I can see the numbers are jumping up. Yes, you're welcome tonight. We're talking about your financial life and how you need to start planning towards having an investment as you begin to plan towards retirement. So, like I said, retirement is getting closer than you think. I don't know what your age is tonight. Maybe you're 30, you're 40, you're 45. Every single day you're getting closer to your retirement. Yeah, thank you, Megan Gregory. You're welcome. You're Nigerian. Let's know where you're from. I'm having a lot of people online tonight. Let's know where are you watching from. Are you watching from Lagos, Nigeria? You're watching from the diaspora. Just type your location in the comment section. Let's know where you're watching from. Let's know where you're watching from. Megan is saying hi. All right, let me just say I back to. I'm saying I back to you, Megan. You're welcome on board tonight. Welcome on board tonight. Any other person there can also drop a comment. You can drop a comment. You can drop a comment. Oh, you're watching from UK. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's why you need to watch this tonight, because we're looking at how you can start planning towards your retirement. Your retirement plan, having an investment in place as your plan towards retirement. So retirement is getting closer than you think. Every single day draws you closer to your retirement. And the second point to note is that rising cost of living. If you're living in Nigeria, the cost of living is getting higher every single day, and that's the more reason why you need to have a retirement plan in place, so that that day does not come like a thief in the night. That is written in the Bible. Nigeria's inflation rate and currency depreciation mean that money saved without investment loses value over time. Like I always tell people, if you have 10 million naira in your Nigerian account, if you put it in an account 3 years ago, by now, what you have is less than 50%, even though you are seeing 10 million in your bank account, but the value of that money is less than 50% of what you have, because inflation has caught up with our daily living right here in Nigeria. So the money is losing value drastically. So this is another reason why you need to have an investment plan in place, to mitigate against inflation. All right, Megan Gregory saying, I don't know whether you're male or female, you're in bed. That's amazing, and it's good that you're watching us tonight in bed in the comfort of your home, and you're hearing how to plan towards your retirement. Now, number three reason why you need to plan towards retirement is because healthcare costs increase with age. Now, the older you get, the more expensive it becomes to maintain your health, because as you grow older there are some old age health issues that will spring up. It's normal, it happens. If you have an aged person around you, it's a normal thing. There are some old age related health issues that will just spring up, and if you don't plan on time and you retire on your same income, or you're waiting for your retirement gratuity or pension, it may shock you that that money may not be enough to maintain you in your old age. And that's the reason why you need to start planning towards your retirement from now on, by having the right investment in place to take care of you when you grow old. And the truth is that because you are getting old and getting towards retirement does not mean that your family responsibility is going to reduce. In fact, in many cases it will increase. It's as you're growing towards retirement, your children are growing older, they want to get married, they want to do one thing or the other. As a parent, you want to be there to support them, you want to be there to contribute. You have expenses to take care of. Even in your old age, there are some extended family members that still look up to you for financial support, for financial assistance, and you still have to. You know the way it is in Africa here, especially Nigeria. People don't care whether you are old. There are some family things they just want you to be involved in. Why is no one supporting your videos? Well, I'm just saying it. If you're here, support my videos. Click the like button. Those online tonight, just click the line, drop a comment, support me. Let's get this viral. Let's get people to comment, and so that the algorithm can be triggered to share this video to more people. I believe our viewers will do that. Thank you, Megan, for that comment, Megan Gregory. All right, so family responsibilities still exist regardless of age. In fact, it even increases the older you get. And so that's one of the other reasons why you need to plan, towards retirement. Now, as you grow older, your strength to work will reduce. As you get to your retirement age, you may not be able to do things that are physically demanding. If there are physical jobs you may not have the capacity to do anymore at that stage of your life. And that's the reason why you need to now create passive income streams. You need to create passive income streams that will be yielding money for you even when you don't have the capacity to fully work again. All right, thanks for the time, Megan. I really appreciate. I'll come up online almost every night, so you definitely going to see me some other time. Thanks. Just make sure you subscribe to this channel. That's Megan Gregory. Please subscribe to the channel so that you can see other videos from me. I appreciate the time. Thanks so much. All right, so you need to create passive income streams. You need to create passive income streams, like investing in stocks, investing in real estate, which is one of the best, which I'm going to talk about tonight, because it has minimal supervision and minimal involvement compared to many other businesses, and it has a lot of passive income streams that can continue generating money for you. Another way to plan towards your retirement with passive income streams is you can build a business, business that does not require much of your presence. Maybe you employ people that can run it for you. You understand? So what is important is that as you're growing older, you need something that will be generating money for you while you can, in your old age, rest and relax, and money still keeps falling in your laps, so that you are financially capable in your old age and you don't have to depend on anyone. Thank you, Gregory. You're back, because it's always appalling, for old people when they now suddenly become dependent. It happens a lot. You see, old people, they can't take a decision for themselves because their kids are the one funding them, they're the one financing them. They don't have any money of their own. But while they were much younger, they actually struggled for the entire family. But some get poorly treated in their old age because they don't have any financial independence. I tell you, it's a very, very bad state to be if you are old and you are not financially independent to take certain decisions for yourself. And that's the reason why you need to have a retirement plan, an investment retirement plan, to take care of yourself in your old age. This can generate income consistently for you. and in some instances it can even generate more income for you compared to while you are actively working. One other reason why you need to generate income for yourself, I'm not old. Whoa. But then it's not bad. It's not bad to get to know about investment even at a young age. Warren Buffett started investing at the age of 8. So you're just right in time, Megan Gregory. You're just ripe. You're just ripe. I said it. Warren Buffett, you can research. He started investing at the age of 8. So there's no age that is too young for you to start investing. So let's talk investment generally. It doesn't matter your age. It's still okay. But then the video is actually targeted towards those who are older. But definitely you still fit in since you're really interested in learning how this works. All right. So you need to avoid dependence on your children. Now, I'm not saying that you discard your children, no, but then in old age, it's been observed people become dependent and they don't have a voice, they don't have a say. Because it's a culturally, many Nigerians expect support from their children in old age. Now, that's another thing. There are some parents, all they are waiting for from their children is that once they are old, that the children are the one that will be contributing money for them to survive. They feel like, oh, I've served you while I'm younger, now I'm old. It's now your duty to start serving me. It's now your duty to start contributing money for me. Now, in some instances, some of those children, they don't even have the capacity to support the parent. Some don't even have the compassion to do it. You understand? So some are not concerned, some don't have the capacity. Maybe if the person has maybe 5 children, maybe it's only one or two that will show some form of concern for him at that age, and that is not too good. So as a parent, you are not to depend on your children in their old age. The essence of this video is that even in your old age, you can still have a lot of money to spend, to be financially free even in your old age. Now, it says that economic realities have changed. Relying entirely on children can create financial and economical and emotional strain. Now, if a parent depends too much on the children, sometimes it can lead to a strain. It can lead, some children don't like it. Maybe the spouse of a child does not like you coming around and be asking for money every now and then, and before you know what is happening, it can lead to a strain in the relationship between parent and child. And that's why you need to have your own solid investment plan, which gives you financial independence even in your old age. And above all, you need to have a financial legacy. As a parent, you need to have a financial legacy which you can hand over to your children. Excuse me. You need to have a financial legacy, and it's very important. It's a legacy in your name. It could be, and tonight I'm promoting actually more of real estate investment, because it's an investment that has a lot of potential to even grow in capacity, to grow in value over time. Real estate is that investment you can put your money into, and you can be rest assured that it's increasing in value without depreciation much. It appreciates more in value over time. Like I always tell people, if you put 10 million naira in your bank account in 2023, this is 2026, now that 10 million naira in your bank account in 2023, by now, even if you are seeing 10 million in your bank account, the value is just like 50% or even less than that. Let's just say 50% is worth 5 million. But the landed property you bought in 2023 at 10 million naira, I can guarantee you that if you want to sell it now in 2026, you can't sell it anything less than 100% of the amount that you invested. So that means if you invested 10 million naira to buy a landed property, depending on location though, yeah, I emphasize that, depending on location and other factors, you can sell less than an additional like 10 million, which is like 20 million naira now, meaning you can get your return on investment over the period of time as much as close to 100% or even more. The longer you hold, the better. And that's what I want to share with us tonight, that we can do a lot of real estate investment, and that's where the space I operate in. And before we go deeply into real estate, let me talk further on this issue of investing as you plan towards retirement. For those that are just joining, you can just go ahead and help me to like this video. Like this video. You can drop your location. Where are you watching from? Are you watching from Nigeria? I'm in Nigeria. I'm based in Nigeria, so I want to know where you're watching from. We have a guest online. That's Megan Gregory, who is based in the United Kingdom. Let's know where you're from. Let's interact. Let's socialize on the platform tonight. Now, one of the other things that you need to note while planning towards retirement is that you have shorter time to recover from financial mistakes. So if you've made some mistakes, in your work life, in your career life, you have a limited time. Retirement is not knocking at the door. The time is short. You need to tidy up all ends so that, because some people, they end up entering into debt towards retirement, and their retirement benefit, which they think they will live on for the rest of their lives, ends up going into paying off the debt that they entered into. Now, that's why you need to have proper financial planning as you approach retirement. If you're owing any debt, you have any loan, make sure you pay them all, so that you don't get the shock of your life when you have to use your retirement benefit, your pension, or your gratuity to offset loans. That can affect a lot of things. It can affect your health, it can affect your standard of living, and many other things about your life. Now, it also needs to be noted that as you approach your retirement age, you need to start thinking about transition from wealth accumulation to wealth preservation, because at that period when you retire, you're not going to be working anymore, so you'll be looking at how to preserve your wealth. While working, that was meant to be a period to accumulate wealth, while your retirement is a time when you don't have the strength to work anymore, so you should be looking at how to preserve the wealth you have accumulated. So at that period, you are not thinking about exposure to high risk investments. No, you are looking at an investment that is stable with minimal risk, reasonable return ratio. The goal is to preserve your investment and not, to put it or jeopardize it in any risk of any time, any form. Now, another thing you need to do is retirement lifestyle planning. So what plans do you have for your retirement? Retirement is not just about survival, it's about how you want to live. Now, some people, once they enter retirement, their plan is to retire back to the village. That's what happens many times. Once people retire, they just go back. Maybe they've made a place for themselves in their village. They say they want to retire to their people. That thing is a lie. Many times it's because most of them don't want to live in the city because of the cost of living in the city. The village is always cheaper. Accommodation is cheap, or possibly maybe they have a family house they want to retire to, or they've built a house back in the village. The cost of living in this village is cheap. General life is cheap, is a lot cheaper in the rural areas. But then the truth is this: you can retire and still retire as a king, and still have all the luxury you had access to while you're working, if only you plan earlier. If you plan earlier for it, it's all about planning, and that's part of what we're doing tonight, sensitizing you to start planning early. So what are your retirement plans? You want to travel, you want to leave Nigeria, you want to travel abroad. I've seen people who retire, and that's the best time of their life, because they now have the time to travel and explore different places in the world, because they have put mechanism in place to generate them money even in their retirement. Okay, the other one is that you want to maintain your current lifestyle. You don't want to go above or below, but you want to maintain your current lifestyle. That is equally good. I mean, you're living in the city, you want to maintain your house in the city, still live a good life. If that is the goal, that is equally a good one. So your investment strategy must align with your desired lifestyle, not just your basic expenses. All right, the other point here to note is that managing longevity risk. People are living longer. You may spend 20, 30 years in retirement. That's the other part of it. Now, some feel that, okay, if I retire at the age of 60, okay, maybe give or take maybe another 10 years, they'll be gone. But then they are still here the next 20, 30 years. Some still live till 90. So the question is, what will they be doing? How will they survive 20, 30 years after retirement if there is no investment plan in place? I mean, you never can tell the kind of longevity in life that God will give you. Maybe you'll live to be some 30, 20, 40 years after retirement. So if you retire at 60, you may still end up living till 70, 80, 90. So how do you plan to survive during those periods? On a serious note now, how do you really want to survive and navigate that period of your life if you don't have a financial plan in place, an investment plan in place, finances to provide for you financially with passive income, during such a period. Otherwise, life can become stressful if you're growing older and you don't have sufficient finances, to take care of yourself in old age. All right, so these are the major things I want to share with us tonight about having a retirement investment plan. And at our company, Alluvial Properties, we're actually a real estate company, and we can help you acquire properties. Especially the product we're pushing now is called the Palm Ridge. Now, the Palm Ridge, all it involves is buying a parcel of land on which palm and the palm tree is expected to grow and fruit in the next 2 to 3 years, after which harvesting starts and it can be turned into the palm kernel is turned into palm oil, which can be sold. Now the beauty of it is that as the palm tree is growing, the value of the land is appreciating. So you have a passive income. You are not just buying land on which you are expecting appreciation, you also have palm tree that is increasing the value, of that land. It's just like you buying a land and building a house on it. The value of that land cannot be compared to the one that is just, an open land. So also when you start planting agricultural products like palm tree on the land, then the value begins to appreciate immediately. And the beautiful thing about the palm tree is that it can continue fruiting the next 25 to 50 years, meaning you can continue harvesting the palm kernel, turn it to palm oil, every year for the next 25 to 50 years. And that is a generational wealth, because here you can have a passive income coming in every year or every other time that harvesting can be done on your land. Now, a lot of people are keen into this as a retirement investment plan, and that's why I'm sharing this with you tonight. A lot of Nigerians, people are buying, on an hectare of land, you can earn as much as 6 million naira per hectare. And the more you buy, the more the return you're going to make. So imagine if somebody can earn as much as 6 million naira per, let's just say per annum, on an hectare, how much more, someone that buys like 10 hectares, that would be 60 million. 100 hectares, that would be 600 million, like that. So the more you buy, the more money you make. And the beauty of it is that aside earning passive income on the palm oil that we produce, if you choose to sell the land in future, you are not just selling the land now, you are also selling the palm tree that is on it, and that has astronomically increased the value of the palm tree. Of the land. The palm tree has increased the value of the land, and I tell you, be selling at a much more higher rate compared to what you bought initially. So that way you can have an investment plan for yourself. And the beauty of all of this is that this can be done for you by our partner company, Assets Rise. That's our partner company. So what they do is that they will help you to plant the palm tree on the land. They will help you to grow the palm tree, go through the nursery phase, the growth stages, prune it and do everything for you without you having to lift a finger. I repeat that you're not going to do anything. The company will do all for you, but then it's not a charity organization, so there's still going to be a cost attached to it. The cost implication is that a percentage of the profit that is made after the palm tree has been harvested and converted to palm oil and sold will have to be shared with the company who did the work for you. We'll tell you about the percentage sharing in another video. So this company takes all the heavy lifting off you. You don't need to do anything. Imagine you're already in your old age, you just want to enjoy your old age, maybe with your grandchildren, and you have money coming into your bank. All you need to do is to buy the landed property. The allocation will be done, the palm tree will be planted, and like I said, fruiting takes about 2 to 3 years. That means it will take 2 to 3 years for the palm tree to grow to a level where it can be harvested. But then there are some lands now on which the palm tree already on it has grown in the last like 1 year. So that one will be harvested earlier compared to the one that you buy today, and the palm tree is planted now. So the choice is yours, the kind of product you want to select. Either you want to buy a brand new one with the palm tree planted now, or the one that the palm tree has been grown to a level, and the growth towards maturity is faster. So the choice really is yours. But the beauty of it is that you are not going to be doing anything except you want to do it by yourself. I mean, that option is also available. If you just want to buy the land, plant the palm tree, water it, grow it, maybe employ your own, run it like a farm. It's actually a farming product. It's an agricultural product. Maybe you want to have your own team of farmers who will work on it. The choice is yours. But why go through all that stress where you can have it done for you without you having to lift a finger? Just let the company handle everything for you. They will even do the selling. They take it to the market and sell, and just credit you with your profit. Imagine having like 6 million naira once or twice a year dropping in your account for the next 25 years. That's an investment that you're going to benefit from right in your lifetime, and even in old age your children too can still benefit. And that's part of the beauty, because you can hand over this investment even to your children as a legacy, as an inheritance. It's your sweat that produced it, which your children can benefit from. All right, so if you want to get started with this uh, Palm Ridge Estate, then just look around this video. You see my contact details there. Okay, I can still call it out now, and that is 081 plus 234 081 4310 6420. I'll call it again, plus 234 81 4310 6420. You can also reach us on plus 23480 3480 8608. We'll hope to hear from you and help you get started on how to start your own Palm Ridge Estate. All right, so I'll come again on this live tomorrow, same time. I'll come up at 8 p.m. tomorrow. I'll see you then. Take care, and it's bye for now. Bye bye.